Ladies and gentlemen, scene. We finally start on time for the first time. Look at all of us. Nope, I can't. I'm never gonna fix it. Find the right side. Look at all of us. I'm Yosha, and I've got a bunch of lovely people here.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
It's gonna enable some lovely SimCasino
It's
music.
Stream for SimCasino.
I think it's our seventh.
Seventh?
Well, if you include the flying stream as number, yeah.
Ah, right. Yeah.
Our last one was in mid-February.
Yeah, it's been a while. It feels like it's been forever, huh?
It took me that long just to fix scheduling.
Oh yeah, there have been a lot of changes. By the way, Michael, do you think I've changed anything in my casino, or do you think everything is wrong? Right.
I don't think you've changed anything.
Let's see. First fix: the gym now needs hand sanitizers.
It requires them?
Yes.
I like it. I saw a review just the other day saying, giving us props for having hand sanitizers in there.
And another one that was complaining about it, saying, what about people's immune systems?
Honestly, I thought about wearing a mask to this stream, and I was like, well, we're pretty distant. I don't think it's necessary.
Oh my god, Michael, we are close. We are closer than the rest. Oh, never mind. Donna and Arthur are probably closer.
Yeah, but she's been vaccinated, so
Yeah.
she could go to the Dodgers game today and sit in the vaccinated section.
You still have
But
to
yeah,
go
new
get a
routes.
COVID test.
What's that? What's that, Tana?
Oh, I said you still have to get a COVID test to go anywhere, even if you have the vaccination.
I saw that at the Dodgers game in LA, I think that they've got a vaccinated only section that it's full capacity, I thought. But I wonder, maybe they still do require a test. I don't know. So I'm just pulling up YouTube. Anyway, if you haven't joined us before, basically it's fireside chat style. We'll answer your questions. We'll talk politics and COVID. We'll play the game. We'll show you new features. There's a ton of new stuff in since the last stream. Michael put together a list, or has a list of everything.
It's pretty long.
Yes, it is. I was looking through it on my pre-stream smoke break, and it is quite long.
By the way, was the drink server bartender walking around in last time? I think not.
Yeah, that was one of the suggestions.
Was it actually
the
a suggestion
looks...
from the stream?
I don't think that was Arthur's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was driving me nuts because it was unrealistic.
Look at
Honestly,
him walking around.
Yeah, it looks so much better. The only thing missing now is we need the video poker machines. And actually, since last stream, I had a chance to sit down with somebody from the prior stream. He was here in Vegas at the Cosmopolitan and went down there, and he and I had a handful of drinks and basically talked SimCasino. He gave us a lot of good ideas for the slot mechanics stuff. It was also really cool to meet somebody in person that had been following the game. Hey there, Mod Air.
Hey, a wild mod appears.
David S. Hello, of course. So we've also got today. So I just got this stuff in yesterday. I just got my wife to take photos yesterday. Unfortunately, they're kind of wrinkly, and I just steamed them. I got a little bit of a burn from doing that, trying to get it done before the stream. The new pictures will go up after the stream, but we got a store up at store.lvgamedev.com with merchandise that you can go buy right now. We've got hoodies, shirts, and some mugs. So we finally made that happen. I'm wearing the SimCasino shirt, which I'm pretty proud of. And you're probably never going to get it off me. But yeah, check that out. We'll get links up like in the description and stuff. Yeah. And hopefully it should just work. I haven't tested it. The merchandise just got to my house yesterday. The stuff is not as wrinkled as it looks in the pictures right now. It'll look a lot better.
I think we can guarantee that mugs will not be wrinkled. They will always be smooth.
The mugs are quite nice. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, they're all high quality, and like it literally took like basically, the entire time. They just arrived at my door yesterday. It was quite the frickin' venture to get. Yeah, man. Like, even the sweatshirts, the 2XLs are only available in the lighter gray. Like, we had to piecemeal it together. And I'll be honest, a lot of the issue is me. I'm really, really picky about what I wear, and I wanted stuff that, like, I wear the same brand and style of sweatpants, shorts, and shirt every day. And sweatshirt in the winter, I wanted the stuff to be stuff that, like, I could put in my rotation and not be wearing just because. So I made Donna's life a little hard, but
it's okay. It worked out.
Yeah, it really is great stuff. Unfortunately, since I just got them, I haven't had a chance to send it out to everybody yet, but we'll be doing that very soon.
I'm not wearing a shirt until I get one.
That's the way to do it. Yesterday, I thought they had arrived. 3 of the 5 boxes had arrived. I took my shirt off as I was opening the box, and what do you know? The 3 boxes I had, there were no larges in them, and so I literally went without a shirt until the next 2 boxes showed up 2 hours later.
I like how I was jerking and you was being serious.
I was so pumped. I like couldn't wait to put it on, and like, I mean, yeah. I've been wanting this honestly, I've been wanting it since Sim Airport for probably like 3 years now. Finally got some merchandise. So I'm going to get it shipped out to you guys. So next stream, we'll all be wearing some version of Sim Airport. We'll probably be drinking out of mugs and everything.
Actual rectangular rotated boxes around the guests, Josh is pointing out.
Ah, yes, because the boxes.
Under the blankets.
Yeah, the boxes are definitely the one thing, the big thing that changed. I mean, they
sleeping under the blankets is pretty freaking great too.
I mean, but sleeping under the blankets is it's a small thing. Having the rightly aligned box, that's important.
If you ask me, both of them are small things, but this is the shit that is like it blows the immersion factor when you see the guy laying on top of the bed, and like it feels buggy if you highlight it, and he's still vertical on the bounding box.
Yeah, stuff like that, and the bartenders moving around.
The bartenders moving around is like, yeah, permission to play level. Like it has to. It looks so much freaking better.
Ah, also dirty sheets now. Katie just wrote, you didn't like it. OCD kicked in. What?
I think you showed the build menu earlier.
Oh yeah, build menu.
The sheets, oh, that is lovely. My heart just melts for the sheets. I'm
Michael.
so glad this is in.
Do you want to go over all the changes you did?
Yes, firstly you'll notice some of the icons are higher res, like that paintbrush one and the floor one, and then up above that you'll see that I've added different filters like indoor, outdoor. I think the other one's 2-story, wall objects, and then ceiling objects. So it especially helps in the decor menu because that's where most of like the different objects are.
Even just the spacing is like, yeah, it feels a lot more cohesive in my opinion. Like it really is starting to. I mean, I saw a review. Actually, no, it was a YouTube comment on our prior stream or something. Like, how did you guys manage to release a game in early access with this level of polish versus, I think they were saying, versus EA releasing a game with 3 hot fixes and the game's still broken. And honestly, the truth is that
hard work.
It's taken us like 6 years to get to the point where, like, we're at the level where we see that kind of shit. I mean, nobody ever accused us of releasing an overly polished game with some airport. That's for damn sure.
Have you shown off the reps yet around the table games?
Yeah, at the beginning. I can show them off again.
Yeah.
First thing about them, once they were all out on Edge, people wanted them as fences.
Yeah, that's on my to-do list. It actually technically works, I just haven't got the UI hooked up. But in dev mode, you can switch the fences.
I'm sadly not in dev mode. In dev mode? Oh, never mind. We could technically start a special event. That is always active. It just doesn't automatically, because it's not Christmas.
I'm surprised we didn't put any Easter hunts, Easter eggs for actual Easter Day.
The list was too long.
At Easter eggs for
add
Easter.
it to the list.
Well, for
We're gonna
next
make
Easter.
use of.
For next year.
Well, that's like part of the. It really just requires planning ahead because if I ask, I mean, when we did the Christmas one, I think what I give you guys like 3 days notice. Yeah, I've learned my lesson. I've been yelled at by Michael. I'm not allowed to do that anymore. And
I mean, you could just volunteer yourself.
This is true. This is very.
I am
true.
so passionate about this. I want you guys to do it for me.
Hey, that's why I'm the boss, right? Meanwhile, I end up asking your permission to take time off, so it's like I don't know.
Well, you don't need my permission. You just need to look at the list and then think about it.
Yeah, like, am I okay with it taking that much longer? Hey, I still prove helpful every now and then.
Yeah, the new slot game mechanics will be coming soon.
Yeah, which are
That's
a direct result from that prior stream and the meetup. Honestly, the slot mechanics are going to get a lot better. There's going to be more slot games coming, and it's going to matter which slot game. There'll be kind of like a market where slot games become more and less popular.
Full stuff is also coming out soon. We're currently working on that.
What stuff?
Swimming pools.
Is that you're working on that, Michael?
No,
No.
I think we had to
It's on
stop
the
that.
list. It's on the list for next
Yeah,
month.
I think we had to take it off.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? Okay. Katie was
think-
asking how pool stuff is gonna.
Yeah,
We have some content done just for context, but we had to stop. I think Arthur's got the story.
Yeah, that's another one where I will take the full blame. Yeah, some technical hurdles. It's also just a lot. I mean, we've got the objects ready. I know, and you did some awesome stuff. Did we get like the fire pit in and stuff?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So we've got like some of the objects, but getting the actual swimming mechanics in. Yeah, we're not gonna make it for summer probably on it. It is on the list, though. There's a lot on the list, though.
And I'll be moving house soon, so that list is going to slow down.
Yeah, Michael's getting back out on his own. He's finally found a place. Apparently, it's tough to find a place that'll take a pet.
Yeah, I've been looking since January, and I've only just got a place now. And even then, I'm moving across the country.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's so weird. 'Cause here in the U.S., like almost anywhere will take. Like sometimes there's breed restrictions and stuff, but like a cat, that's so weird. I cannot believe how much trouble you had with it.
Sorry, Joshua, you still can't use eyedropper on the zone. That just keeps slipping off. You can volunteer to add it if you want, because I know it drives you crazy.
Yeah, I added it once. And it doesn't work. Doesn't work anymore. It worked in Sim Airport. Why does it not work?
Oh, in Sim Airport, I was going to say, I don't remember you adding it to SimCasino.
It's a lot harder in SimCasino because you gotta. Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I can explain the technical reason, but it's a lot because it's not all the walls aren't cell based, so you can't use the same.
Yeah, but
logic. I know.
For zone is just does the cell has a zone. If yes, then pick.
No, because you got to see if you can cross. So if your clone has walls in the middle of it.
Not clone, just picking. The eyedropper.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, cloning zones already works.
Yeah, also that.
Yeah, I know you did get it working. Oh, why isn't it in there?
That's just on the list, but it's been in between everything else on the list, and you know how much has been done. But no matter how much we get done, there's always more.
Yeah. I mean, that's game development for you.
I'm sure if I did that, you'd say, well, what about this other thing that didn't get done instead?
That's a fact. Honestly, it's unavoidable.
It's alright, Donna said she'd love to learn Code, and so she's going to implement it.
Yeah, Donna. Woo.
What?
Honestly, she's got her hands full already. I mean, the look of the game and the objects that are coming in and the refinement that's been happening visually, like, yeah, I don't think we want her to learn Code. I think we keep doing what you're doing.
Like coding would take forever to learn.
Yeah, it's not that bad to learn. It's really very time consuming to master. Takes years to really master any one language.
And usually say you can code really quickly, but programming, the structural knowledge is really hard.
Yeah, you can glue little things together trivially. It's being able to maintain that and expand on it, and being able to do that consistently that's hard. And even just mastering like a single language takes time. I think, what do I usually tell you guys, like 4 or 5 years? I forget, something like that.
I'd say with C# and .NET especially even more. Like we still have discussions about language specific stuff.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, part of that's C#, but although almost any language has those quirks.
We can never figure out how to get Unity working properly.
Well, that's the other, I won't even start ranting on Unity today. Actually, since the last stream, I had a chance to have a one-on-one Zoom meeting with a Unity advisor, and he said it was very helpful. I don't know, I ranted for quite a while. But
you gave him a list.
I did give him quite the list. Let's just say addressables was near the top. It was very high up there.
That wasn't at the top.
It was at the top. And then he tried it's too funny. I was mentioning trying to get builds going with addressables, and then he tried to sell me on some build server product they have, and I'm like, why would we pay extra to make builds when we already pay for our licenses? Like, I don't understand. How about the wall tools? So I want to say last time we didn't. I don't think we had the modifier in there yet, so you could only select the front-facing wall.
What exactly do you mean?
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
So paint one of those walls.
Paint. Hmm?
Use the modifier. Use the other modifier. Don't we have another? Yeah, that. I don't think that was in.
I think that was in last time.
Are you sure? I think we discussed it last time.
Yeah, I want to say we did discuss it last time because it was. I had been.
It's been that long.
Screenshots. Yeah, it has been. It's been a long time since the last stream.
Oh, that reminds me, I fixed a bug yesterday because it was missing random squares, so I think that works perfectly now.
Oh, I saw that one. It was on the list for quite some time.
Mm.
I'm just like. Does the money work? The money works correctly?
Which money?
No, the tool, when you press control, it sometimes missed a random square.
What about, so if you double paint, like make one of those red and then go paint it back to the entire thing. Make just one tile red. And then now switch to whatever it actually is, brick. Yeah. Now modifier key. Oop. You're only paying for one?
No, it's actually selecting two. If I'm directly above it, it's 2, otherwise it's 1. And if I use the red, it's the same. If I'm not above it, it's 6, and then it's 5 if I'm above it.
Is it completely random?
No, it's not completely random. It depends on what you hover.
Which the mouse is over. Michael, you writing that one down?
I got it.
Yeah. She's like, I'll save your ass, Michael. I gotcha.
If you hover over the correct
good team player right there.
If you hover over the correct paint, it correctly finds 5 other wall pieces to paint over. But if you hover somewhere else over the wall, it thinks the whole part of the wall, so this whole segment, all 6 pieces, need to be covered. And I think that's the same with the brick. Yeah, if you're on the brick with brick, it finds just that one. But as soon as you hover over the brick with control enabled, it will select 2 for some reason. Oh yeah, by the way, I should correct the paint again. I'm not the most creative, but we want to have a somewhat fancy casino.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of your floor choice. At least in the hallways.
Do you have any wishes?
I'd like to see some kind of tile or stone, maybe.
Shall we see if there's any good comments and then I'll go through the list of everything we've changed? Well, most big things we've changed. I think there's like hundreds of bug fixes I'm not going to go through.
Well, why not? Every single one. They all matter.
I don't mention them in case they're broken, like the pencil.
Yeah, so I actually don't even have Twitch up. Like normal, we're on Twitch, YouTube, and Steam. If you have any questions for us, requests, ideas, whatever, just speak up.
Katie from Twitch has a question. She says, have you guys considered giving us a pre-built category, such as like a pre-built bingo room or hotel or such?
Like blueprint style.
That'll be like a mod style, right?
At which point we basically have blueprints, so you can copy an area and make a blueprint from it, and so possibly even share it.
Yeah, the way I would interpret that would be like kind of like the clone tool, but saved like rooms, so that you could just pick from a list I know
that's been on the list since last time. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, ideally we want to make them workshop shareable too, so that you can make one and share it to the workshop or grab other people's. I want to say that when I did the clone tool structure originally, it was set up for that to be serialized okay. The only issue is copying settings, which right now I don't think is saved in a modular format.
I don't think it's too far off.
Yeah, I don't think it would be too bad either. So I think that if we're understanding right, I think that what you're asking for is on the list. And probably will come soon, because we're kind of focused. We're definitely looking at modding quite a bit here lately. We got the workshop up there. In fact, after the stream today, we'll put this casino in the workshop, right?
It already is.
It already is.
It already is.
Awesome.
I think I actually
I'm guessing
have...
you have to re-upload it to update it.
Yeah. So we'll
Okay.
update it on there too after today. But yeah, so this casino, if you want to play this casino and see if you can be a better interior designer than Joshua, I'm guessing you can. Then have at it. Hell, if you impress us enough, maybe we'll ship you a mug.
Terms and conditions apply.
Impress us enough. We got quite a few mugs. Quite a few of them. I've given one to every neighbor, every contractor that's been here, basically everyone. And hell, Donna has half of them. They had quite a minimum order for mugs.
This looks
Shall
a
I go?
bit better.
Shall I go through the changes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Zoom back in on that though. That is excellent.
Wait. Which on what?
The bar. How many polys is that? Probably quite a few, huh?
It's probably a bazillion.
Skipper.
Yeah, just looking at it.
I
You
don't
want
think
to count?
polygons is really our bottleneck. It's the number of unique objects, and now that's like loaded by the CPU, so it isn't really an issue.
Yeah. Although I catch him getting some frame lag here and there.
Yeah, but modern GPUs can handle like, well, loads. I was going to say millions when I thought actually it's probably more than that.
Yeah, many multiple millions, especially with instancing. If anything, yeah, CPU is probably bottleneck. And Josh is stubborn and won't get a dedicated streaming PC.
I actually took a look.
You did?
Yeah. Do you know what the problem is?
What?
Have you tried buying another graphics card currently?
Yeah, that's right. They're outrageous right now, aren't they?
There's something like it. I mean, there's this global pandemic, which is really annoying, but there's also this really bad chip shortage, which is really annoying. You can't get
that's right.
anything.
They're like 2x retail if you can find them.
Yeah, and I mean it's. I actually upgraded my GPU. Old cooler. I had a shitty fan blower card, which just has this really shitty small cooler block, and I obviously cannot show you the new block.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't pull it out of your computer right now.
Put this thing on. Is it?
Yeah, so Kitty Cat 3000 on Twitch said, you don't really need a good GPU for streaming. Most people I know have a 1060, I bet a 1650 would work. Yeah, that's what I think too. All you really need is a capture card. And I've told you, let's just buy a 4K capture card.
Yeah, but you still
Stick
need
it
the
in something.
CPU, some GPU to that can at least do the 4K. I have an old one, but that doesn't. It's too old for 4K. At 1060.
You sound like my HOA, where every time I propose, we do something easy, like add a camera because the mail keeps getting stolen, and they're like, no, the mail's never been stolen before. Why fix it? It's not broke. It's like,
Well, I mean, it's running fine.
yeah, right, exactly.
But yeah, like I said, it still needs a secondary PC. Capture card doesn't work alone.
Yeah, no, I know. We really do need. I do want to do that though. But Kitty Cat also said, really love how you guys simplified staff hours and setting up routes. The old slide bar system was so complex and hurt my brain. Well, thank you. Yeah, I think that's one of the big things, I guess, since the last stream. That was a while back too. We haven't streamed since then, but yeah, I think you did a fantastic job simplifying it and still retaining like quite a bit of control.
I mean, the big difference was moving away from a giant global one to individual ones. It just makes it so much easier to see what's going on. And then yeah, you can reuse it for weekends, so you don't have to do it twice.
Yeah, but it's not overwhelming. It's not like. So I struggled with this in Sim Airport, is making advanced features like that were optional. They were there for depth if you wanted, but you didn't have to do them. It was in Sim Airport. It was a really fine line. Yeah, I think you did a really good job on this. Yeah, I can see you got a black mark on your eyeball there. Oh, it's your reflection off your glasses. I see.
Yeah, the Zone 1 is slightly more complicated in putting values, but originally that was a bit confusing. Then we got some feedback on Edge and then it got fixed a bit after. So it should be much better now as well.
Somebody,
new lights.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's see them.
Should they only be placed outdoors, Michael?
So I renamed them to park lights, I think, so that it doesn't matter, because I thought there's no point restricting it.
Okay.
I hate those lights.
These ones?
Yeah, it's like, are we in a warehouse?
Yes.
Well, I kept them for the staff areas, but people who don't understand design put them in public areas.
Wow, that was a low blow. Woo.
I'm getting roasted for my shitty design choices.
Honestly,
if you want to find them faster, set it to outdoors, and then you'll with the new
next time
filters.
Donna should play the game. That's what I think. I have a feeling that we would end up with a much sexier looking casino. Just a hunch.
But other than that, Joshua.
Other than that, great job.
We would be streaming for like 8 hours if I was designing.
Yeah, because you're careful or just meticulous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. That's all right though. I'm the same
Everything
way.
has to line up.
Yeah, I'm the same way. When I play I'm trying to get a screenshot or something. I end up losing 3 hours because I want it to look perfect.
You guys really don't want to see me playing City Skylines.
You just throw shit everywhere and
I'm basically making intersections all day.
So Katie Cat said, "What's the limit of floors you can build?"
On the biggest map, it's 8 plus a roof level, so 9, and then you can hack the file to have unlimited, basically, but we don't recommend it.
Yeah, the reality is there's really no hard limit. It comes down to, do you have enough RAM and video RAM? Can your GPU handle it? So you can edit the save file and you could make one of the plots be 100 stories tall.
I think one's on Workshop.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I've seen some very large skyscrapers. Yeah, it just comes out with a computer be able to run it. We make use of like the GPU quite a bit for some of like the ambient lighting stuff. So as you add more floors, there's a little bit of overhead added each time. But yeah, you can give it a try. And then she also asked, and I'm sorry, I'm assuming she, but Katie Cat 3000 on Twitch said, don't suppose you guys would consider adding in like a golf course or things like batting cages. So golf course is an interesting one. We're definitely not going to do like build your own golf course. I think there's actually a pretty good build your own golf course game out there.
There's a few. There's one really old one.
I saw a new
Golf.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the like original great one, Sid Meier's. There's a new one that's I think basically trying to be that same game but with updated graphics and mechanics. I saw it on the Tycoon subreddit like maybe a year or so ago. But it's similar where you can design and then play, and I believe you can also like run it like a business too. In the past we have talked about like racetracks, and golf course is really kind of right up that same alley where we thought about maybe doing something where some of the plots have a racetrack next to it, or some of the plots have a golf course next to it already, and like maybe that's like an amenity of that plot, and so your guests can go use it. You can maybe make money from it, but you wouldn't build it. Yeah, it's hard to say. Eventually we'll probably end up with another world map. I saw a review, I think, or maybe a YouTube comment, somebody asking, are you guys going to do like a downtown Vegas map or something like that? It is likely we'll eventually do more maps.
The hardest bit is the roads, I think.
We have a couple questions on YouTube chat. David S. asks, would be nice to have a tile highlight on the floor when placing overhead objects like lights or cameras. And then
Joshua, did you start something like that?
Yes. But that basically can go in, I think. Needs some cleaning up here and there, but it has some interesting functionality. On the one hand, it has showing the size of the object. You can drag, and it shows the size of the drag. It shows lines in all four directions to the next wall or object of the same kind. So if you place object, space, object, it will show to the left or wherever the next object is to, telling you are that far away. And it also shows always on the cell. So yeah, if you place something on the wall or roof, it will, on the ceiling, it will show on the usual cell at the bottom. That was just a random weekend project, really, but yeah, never finished it. Probably worth maybe half a day or something like that, and I could add it in.
Another one is it possible to allow object placement that is not locked to the grid? Maybe if only for decorative items, objects that don't have animations tied to them. Probably a no, right?
I think because of the way it affects pathfinding, currently not.
I just had one thought. So the question is specifically for decorative objects. So we talked about, Michael, I think we two talked about it, or chatted about it. We allow custom placement basically everywhere, and the player should just check if it makes sense, the placement makes sense. And that
kind
just
of like
allows
floating walls.
Yeah, exactly.
Or floating floors. There's no real reason you couldn't, especially for like signs or stuff that doesn't affect pathfinding.
So the interesting point is, we could, or my idea I just had is, we could technically add some checkbox you could set, chaos placement, which doesn't exactly allow free placement, but once placed, you can slightly offset the object.
So then
So
the
it's-
game will think it's in the cell position, but then
Exactly.
you can add an offset.
Exactly.
Or you could just not even do that at all and just record an XYZ.
Completely
And
free
literally
place.
let people overlap. Yeah. I mean, that's basically
Then-
what we do with floors. It's just we do validate the cell. But for like signs, if people want to overlap 2 signs, I don't know. Why not?
Yeah, and
Liz,
just
Did we fix that?
really quickly,
For
just from where I got that, for City
Fix what?
Skylines.
The signs.
What's wrong with them?
Last time, I think February-ish, we could. No, I feel like 2 months ago, I gave a Steam key to one of my friends to stream, and he was putting the bathroom gender signs, and they were overlapping on each other.
So that
yeah,
was,
but did he place them on top of each other?
I don't remember. You can double check.
try it right now. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Because yeah, it's possible to place wall objects on each other.
Yeah.
So if this is already possible, then why? So I mean, he could have just fixed it though, right? But what if we let you put them? We already let you put it as high or low as you want. Why not let you put it as left or right in much smaller increments too? I mean, it really doesn't matter. Like that doesn't
Yeah.
affect pathfinding.
I was thinking more for floor objects, but yeah, for wall objects it should be alright, and ceiling objects.
And those are the
Yeah.
ones I feel like are the most frustrating. The ones where people really want the shit lined up. Like, I forget what, there was an example last stream where somebody was annoyed and it was hard to disagree with them because they couldn't get the sign exactly centered. I mean, it would basically fix that. Yeah, those bushes are ugly right there, man.
Yeah, for
Why
some
are
reason-
the others aligned perfectly, but those ones aren't?
Yeah.
Did these bushes change over the update? They usually
So
outline,
they're
right?
supposed to automatically like resize next to each other, but it looks like they're rotated the wrong way. Oh, that might just be because they're old and it's not. I don't know. Maybe 'cause it's an old save. That's all I can think
Probably.
of.
I
Because
mean,
it
they
seems to be
were
fixing
fine
itself.
last time. No, I'm just rotating them.
Ah, right.
I don't know if I'd call that. The real question is if you save and reopen it, is it going to be borked? It shouldn't be.
I mean, you can test, but probably be fine after I reload.
Yeah.
It's probably someone changed something in the world or of the object and broke. Because the save is pretty old now.
So, literally, are your floors? What are your floors?
These ones.
It's still driving me nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't tell me
Some
which
are.
one you want.
Looks like
I-
marble.
Thank you.
This is already marble. You want some tiles.
Grant something. I don't know. It looks. It's ugly. Oh,
How about this?
purple. That's a little bright.
We need more floors.
Yes.
We need
Workshop
mod.
support is
More
coming
textures.
soon.
We need mod textures. What we need.
I mean, this is the current one. What this one?
Better than what's there. How about the one right below it?
This one?
Yeah, I'm alright with that. It's not amazing.
I gotta say, some of the choices for Marvel or like some of the textures are like really odd. I don't think
Like this one.
in real life scenarios people would
Have you been to Vegas?
No, well, it was just once, but
How about this
Been
one?
in like Caesar's Palace?
I don't recall.
I actually don't think some of
I'll
the
have
floors
to
are
check
ugly
it
enough.
out.
That's truly probably correct, to be honest. That some of them are not ugly enough. I mean, it's so opulent and ridiculous in some, like Caesar's. I don't know if you'd even believe like the level of just over the topness. I mean, it's gaudy. That's the right word. Like,
I'll have to pay more attention when I go.
yeah, I was gonna say next time I'm down there, but you'll probably be here before the next time I go down to the Strip. But although, you know what? So I just very recently found out that here in Vegas there are dolphins and there are lions and there are leopards. Apparently at the Mirage Casino, they have an aquarium with dolphins and all this. It's only $20 to get in for residents. Kids are free, so we're definitely going. And I think you can swim with the dolphins for like $120 or something.
Wait a second. I'm really sorry, I didn't listen to you fully. But did you just describe a zoo?
Yeah, basically as an aquarium style zoo within a casino. It's just like a attraction.
Oh,
They all have some kind
guess
of
we have to
attraction.
add that to our game now.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
it
can we
sounds
get dolphins?
sounds like we need a map with a zoo in the middle.
We ain't even got pools working, never mind aquariums.
I'll make
Probably
a model
easier.
for a fish tank. How about that?
I'll settle for a fish tank with piranhas.
But it has to be a really big tank.
And
I
then
don't-
you add the piranhas to the pool.
Okay, I gotta stop us. So
Yeah.
the theater, those people all clapping, exactly synchronized. Like, which one was the show? Was it the people or was it the performers? Because they literally synchronized clap, they synchronized stand up, then they synchronized start walking. Can we like space that out a little, please? It's almost as egregious as the sleeping on bed over the covers.
On the same topic, first person mode and actually sitting down to see a show.
Add it to the list.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I was typing something else.
Regarding the fish tank, by the way, it has to be a big one. I
No
don't know-
fish tanks, no aquariums. That'll be, I don't know, DLC expansion, whatever. That's not happening in this game.
Michael's putting his foot down. I
don't-
like it.
I don't know if it was a casino or some other attraction, but there's a huge.
It'll come out with the $50 hot tub DLC we announced.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
was a
Is the hot
huge.
tub in yet?
I'm waiting for an animation, but it's on the list. I think it's next month it's added to. It just got beyond some other stuff. Everything's a priority.
Hey Josh, why don't you build some of our new models that we got in?
Which ones?
We have
So there was a few plants and lights.
the fire pit, outdoor seating.
I
Oh, yeah,
freaking
fire
love the
pit.
fire pit.
Does it have animation?
And but
Oh.
I think it looks alright without.
Boo. Add that to the list.
That's
it's
a lot of particle effects.
No, it's like it'll be way less on water. Also, your green screen is clipping.
Oh no, the circle.
Yeah, we just before starting the stream, we found out how to possibly crop Michael out in a circle shape, but it was too late.
It's because we only started an hour early. We need 2 hours at least.
Especially me being me.
Oh, should we
And
add
I
a
still
wedding
arrived
track?
at the last minute.
Actually, we started on time though. That's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, neat.
honestly that makes my day great. Like there's something I don't know. I hate being late. My wife and I had an appointment at the bank the other day for 1:30, and like she knew it, We had a babysitter lined up. The babysitter was here at 1. My wife comes prancing out the door at 1:26, and I'm like, you left us 4 minutes to go 15-minute drive. Like, how was that gonna work? Mind boggled. It just doesn't bother. I don't know. So how about the outdoor furniture too?
Oh, you're right, outdoors. Let's go into the terrace. So what's new? Give me some names.
So if you filter outdoor, it should be just outdoor stuff that's new. And then I know there's a few plants.
Oh, these walls one are new, right?
Yeah. So I think there's 4 new plants, and then 3 new lights, and the new surfer and fire pit.
That one's not the new one.
Yeah, that's an old one.
Is this one
So,
new?
Yes.
The fire pit is I went to this kids place. It's a kids water park, indoor water park in Arizona. My wife was like, we have to go on a vacation or do something because it's been like 3 years since we've gone anywhere. And so we went, and they had this outdoor furniture that I like fell in love with. It's called Polywood, and it's like warranted for like 20 years, stands up to any elements. It's basically like a ABS plastic type stuff. I don't know.
ABS? I can 3D print that.
It's kind of like it's a poly. I don't know. Should look it up and see if you can print me a couch because they cost like $3,000.
How much material would you need to 3D print a couch?
A lot.
Couple of
take
kilo.
like the next 4 years of printing.
You are trying to overestimate that, but that sounds pretty correct.
Yeah, I figured that was relatively accurate.
You can make a mini one, you just won't be able to sit on it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Ooh, Wedding Chapel. Battery H said if you pre-order that Hot Tub DLC, you get the cheesy 15-minute Wedding Chapel. Go with it. That actually, I didn't know. Like, I knew from movies about that until I had driven in downtown Vegas, like the Fremont Street area. I didn't realize how legit it is. Like, there really are. There's wedding chapel after wedding chapel after wedding chapel. When my wife and I went to get our wedding certificate or our wedding license before our wedding, we walk in, we're in and out in like 5 minutes, and then there's all these master of ceremony or whatever standing right outside. They're all like bidding. They're like, we'll marry you right now for $11. Next guy's like, $20 comes with flowers. And like, I kid you not, like 20 plus people, like half of them wearing suits, half of them dressed as Elvis. It's pretty hysterical, and that actually happens.
I think Theme Hospital got sued for adding Elvis into the game, so they had to change it.
No shit.
Because originally there is one that looks like him. I think he's called King something. It's one of the diseases. But I think originally he lit up the floors underneath him, and we had to get rid of that as well as he walked.
Wow.
KDK, you did the Dolphin Swim? Did you went like one at a time so one of you could watch the kids? Or because my wife and I like have always wanted to do the swimming with the dolphins, but we were shocked to hear that there were dolphins here. Our buddies went. They didn't swim. They went to it though, and they said it was awesome. Their kids loved it. But I'd love to do the swimming thing. I just don't know if they'll watch your kids, or I guess you just go one at a time. I don't know.
Josh,
really
there's a
cool.
copy and paste at the top.
No, I'm just wondering. These both have the same design and the same color. Why are they looking different? It
Try
looks like
copy and paste.
the color.
Must be a texture bug then.
I don't think so.
Literally the same. Let's see if I copy pasted it the other way. Paste. Already it's the same.
You do that so fast that I can't tell
Click.
if you even click the damn button.
Design.
Katie Cat, gotcha. Yeah, I think maybe we'll go with our friends. That way we can swap kids off or something. I don't know. I really want to do it though. We're definitely gonna go down there one of these days. Probably semi soon.
We have a question on YouTube. Any plans for a career mode with objectives or goals? Start at the bottom with a hole in the wall and work your way up to luxury resort casinos.
Me and Joshua discussed that. It's probably going to be something that comes later on towards the end, like before version 1. But it all depends on what other features people want and what order we like prioritize stuff. But it is something me and Joshua want. I don't know about Arthur and Donna.
I'm mixed. It really, to me, is more about what people want. I'm not opposed. I'm not. Yeah, I abstain.
It's the one thing that was sort of missing in SimAirport.
We had
I feel like
grants in a way.
Yeah, the grants kind of helped with it. The tutorial a little bit. I feel like this game is a lot more designy, but part of that's just it looks a hell of a lot better too. Like, so just by definition, I mean, like, it's more fun to design shit because it's actually gonna look sexy.
Yeah, but also you have the time to design because you don't really have anything, any fixed goals currently. And
that's true.
That's the big issue. Like you said, in SimAirport there are grants help with that. But back when I started playing SimAirport, even before I worked at it, on it and with you guys, I mostly designed airports, and you basically had nothing to do else than design an airport. And that's the same currently with SimCasino.
I mean, designing an airport or a casino is a pretty big thing on its own.
Yeah, but you have to always see there are two kinds of people. Like there's a spectrum, but two kinds: the ones that really like to design, and the ones that don't really like design. And the ones that don't really like design like the gameplay and the mechanics the game offers. And for those people, a campaign mode would really benefit.
Because I always thought that with the different research options, because that's been expanded a lot since last time, and also just the fact that you have different plots and each one is different, and you work your way up and you sell your old one or you buy a new one. I always thought that was kind of career-like.
Yeah, that's my opinion too. Is if anything, what I'm hearing is almost more what I call a bug or a balance issue. If it's just too easy to cruise through. I think that the slot mechanics stuff will help this a good bit, and some of like the reporting on that too. I mean, the idea basically has always been though, if you uncheck that sandbox mode or that unlimited money, then you're basically playing career mode where, yeah, you have to, and I mean, I think that kind of does work too. Like I saw, I believe it was a forum post the other day, somebody was bitching about 75% interest loan. And yeah, that's steep, it's high. It's also, like, chances are you just took out another loan, or, like, I don't recall what he said the history was, but to me that's, I mean, if he said 700% or something, I'd be like, that's probably totally bugged, but yeah, like, to me that is exactly career mode. The thing that's missing though is definitely objective.
I think we should
pure
just
objective driven.
I think we should just clarify the words, and I think what people usually talk about what I just talked about would be more like a story mode. So you have sandbox career where you have an open world to play with, but then you have also a story mode where there's actually a told story and guided through it.
So to put it into perspective, Parkitect did the story, and I think it took him a year of development. I think that's what they said in the interview. It was two of them, Silverette, who did a lot of the design aspect, and a level designer. So it's a story mode probably wouldn't be done in like a month, but we could definitely after all the main features are in, after version 1, if enough people wanted it. But it wouldn't be version 1 because that's like, I mean, even minimum's like 6 months if we take half as long as Parkitect did. Because you want it to actually be well balanced and fun and not just random objectives if you're going to do a proper story mode with lots of levels.
I mean, it would take a month of planning. Did they do like voiceovers and stuff?
No, I was actually surprised it took a full year, to be honest, because they hadn't done voiceovers and the text is quite minimal, but I think it's mostly the level design and balancing it and testing.
But I think they also, for them, it's the main way to play, right? You do, for us, it's just an additional way to play. We don't have to put that much time in it. Of course,
we
if
can
you
always
have,
do a shorter story.
Yeah, also that. But if you have games like that, or just Grand Theft Auto, the story is the main part of the game, so you want to have it perfect.
Well, even that's arguable. I mean, Grand Theft Auto, I've played, I think 3 or 4 of them, and I could tell you I've probably only done like 20 missions in my life. I always played it as like free for all. Honestly, I used to enjoy just trying to drive correctly, and that's almost harder than like playing the game the way it's meant to be played.
Yeah. By the way, we're an hour in, and Michael is still trying to get through the list.
All right, I'll shut up.
I haven't started it yet. So, I mean, there's lots of smaller stuff. So we improved, I improved the cache distribution screen. Even little things like when you open up a statue, it now defaults to the model view, so you can go straight to all the different variations of statues. So one thing Josh has showed off is when you select an object, it now has different tabs, like a construction tab, finance tab. I think on the last tab, you can also see how many people have used it and all the different types. So if you had 5 gamblers at 7 PM or something like that. So if I was a bit more inspired by the way like Roller Coaster Tycoon does their tabs at the top. So you can see a couple entertainees there at the middle of the day using the slot machine, but mostly gamblers. And then, improvements to patrols, so you can schedule them. You can copy schedules, so I feel like that was already in, maybe I just fixed a bug with it. Staff will spawn a bit early now, so 10 minutes early if instant staff is enabled, or 20 minutes early if they have to get a bus. We added the new plyometric box, which you saw in the gym. Conference table custom colors. And then, lifetime profits. So if you click on an object, you can see how much money it's made in its lifetime. Randomized game button, which you can do with multi-select.
I love that one.
The randomized game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Profit and loss screen now adds up all cash subtotals. So instead of the old system where it would ignore cash transactions and only count like bank balance transactions, now it's in reverse. Still does bank transactions, but it doesn't show what came in and out of your vault, because you have to show one or the other, otherwise it will double count it. Lots of little UI tweaks here and there, performance stuff. Gambling confidence. So this is probably going to get changed once slot mechanics come in, that basically the higher the price, the higher confidence is required. But the more games they play, the more that confidence builds up. So you need a mix of slot machines. I think that was just missing some data before or something. Bar staff walk up and down bars. That was Joshua. He got all these splines working. Click on a member of staff to fire them. Updating translation files. So if anyone wants to volunteer, I think it's something like 86% for German and like 90% for Turkish. The only problem is, because the tutorials aren't translating, we can't exactly make it official yet. Because if you start for the first time, it says 90%, but you look at it, it feels like, 5% when the tutorial's missing.
That's because the tutorials aren't in the XML?
No, they are. They're ready to go, it's just no one's translated them.
And how come they're not counted in the percentage?
I know they are counted. What I'm saying is, it's say 90% done, but it feels like 5% if none of the
because
tutorials
the
are.
tutorials aren't. I got you.
Because that's like the first thing you see.
Yeah.
I got you. So if you know any foreign languages, we would, and you're willing to put some time into that. We've got mugs, we've got sweatshirts and t-shirts. We would love it and really appreciate it.
I'm only just at the beginning of March now. So easier door placement. So that's basically where if you have an object near a door, it no longer blocks it from being placed, because that was very annoying for a lot of players. Horizontal, so different signs, so like business and bingo. Per person prices for conference rooms. I haven't got round to adding conference room scoring, so things like, bigger, nicer room gives you a higher price. At the moment, it's just a fixed rate. That's something on the to-do list, but obviously given we also want to do building improvements and visual improvements and casino improvements, I haven't really focused on conference rooms. It's just one of those things really, doesn't sound that exciting.
Real quick, just in between, Mama Van1 asked on Twitch, and you wait until the translations are complete. No, we don't actually. We usually, Michael syncs them up with Localizer, and you can see them, how much they are translated. We've got a lot of languages, but some just didn't see that much of a translation yet.
What we don't do is we don't click the button on the store page to declare that we have that language supported until it actually is legit. And so, like, what Michael was saying is that, like, all the translations that have been done, we sync them in all the time. But to a brand new player, even if it says 90%, if none of the tutorials are translated, a brand new player is going to get in the game. If they're playing in Russian and that's all in English still, they're going to be like, WTF, this game isn't translated to Russian. Even if 95% of it is, if the tutorials aren't, then a new player's stuck. So if, like, I don't know if there's a way we could, like, incentivize or maybe move the tutorials to the top of the list on localizers. I don't know.
Joshua, if you want a second mug, you can translate it in German.
Oh, great.
Okay, we'll raise it to 3 mugs.
Just on the point in general. So for most languages, the game is perfectly fine playable. As you were able to see, German has 80%, and a couple of other languages have 80 to 90%. Those languages are basically playable perfectly fine. You may just see some stuff currently, and once the tutorials are completely, the more tutorials are coming, the more stuff is gonna need to be translated. But the core gameplay is mostly translated.
What's your roommate up to, Joshua?
Studying too.
Does he need a sweatshirt?
I mean, I can ask him after the stream.
Yeah, I think seems like a perfect candidate for doing finishing up those tutorial translations. Unfortunately, I'm not multilingual, so can't do a damn thing.
I mean,
I'm half Spanish and I can't speak Spanish.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I took 3 years of French here, and I know how to ask if you're sick and where the bathroom is, and that's it.
Oué, like, supermarché. Is that right? Oué? Where is the supermarket in French? That's all I know.
That's all you know. Yeah, exactly. Tu es malade? Are you sick? Je suis malade. Tu es parle français?
Does anyone know what the list is in French?
The list, yeah, that's what we should get down.
Add it to the list.
Le liste? I mean, I can tell you in German, but it's boring.
So, Katie Cat 3000 on Twitch. She's a marketer in real life. Adding a marketing department with research to unlock different levels of marketing instead of just letting it run from the start. I feel like it needs more people like CEO, CFO, etc. So that's something we've talked about and kind of have planned. What I want to see is, and this is how it is in Vegas for sure. Like they definitely do marketing. They do a lot of remarketing with like loyalty card stuff. But one of the big ways that they draw people is aquariums and David Copperfield and Usher, and basically big headliner shows. Like I'm hearing on the radio constantly about Usher doing, they call it a residency. I think he's doing 4 shows in Vegas total. It's been sold out since the day tickets went on sale. So I don't know why they keep advertising it. But that's where I would like to see us kind of push is I'd like to see more like events, basically poker tournaments, performers signing residencies, signing a Britney Spears to a $52 million a year contract. Kind of like the slot mechanics almost, where then their popularity kind of falls over time. Perhaps depending on how much clothes they have on or something. I don't know. Spitballing, mostly joking. But yeah, like I'd like to see something along those lines. In terms of like true marketing, we do have the marketing stuff in there. It's a little topical though. I don't disagree.
See, if you click on his zone, you can actually see the finance history of that as well. So that's showing the finance history of the bar. But I think if you were to find a zone somewhere, you'd be able to see for the entire zone how much money it's made. Like if you click on the gym, oh yeah, the buffet. Yeah, either way you can see like what all the objects have made and how much it's cost, or at least it, oh yeah, there it is.
To-do list. There's a screenshot on the store page of a guy laying above the bed.
I said about making a new trailer as well, because that's very outdated now. All the old textures and animations and guests sleeping on beds.
Yeah, I'm not opposed. I mean, even the structures.
Like the outside, all the walls are bare because we had no outdoor scenery.
Yeah. Honestly, you could probably even just reshoot it and keep about the same footage. I like reshoot the footage, but keep pacing and everything, and end up with a pretty damn good result.
Yeah, well, the pacing's good because of the music. Like the music really helps.
Yeah.
It's almost like we got an expert to do the music.
Yeah, Mr. Martin, hat's always off to you.
We need to get him on the stream.
I wonder if he'd be up for it. I bet he would. He's such a great guy. I'll ask him. Yeah, you should email him and ask him. I wouldn't be surprised if he would. He's super chill.
He did an interview on one of the blogs if you want to find it. If anyone wants to read it, it's a few months ago. That'd be just before release. But anyway, so it's March 12th. So we're getting there. This is for all the conspiracy theorists who don't believe anything on the list gets done. So things like foundation costs increased to make expansion harder, because I know people are saying it was a bit too easy to expand your casino. That's basically in replacement of like buying land, I guess, just make foundations more expensive for now. The default map layout, so when you start a new map, instead of just white walls and a small box, it's a bit nicer now. Same with the start of the tutorial map. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, brand new tutorials, but we'll get to that later in March. We've already talked about simplified staff screen. New background for the bottom UI and just other like tweaks to it. Because I think Arthur, we said it had shoulder pads, didn't we?
Yeah, it was taking up damn near half of my screen. Granted, I play with the UI at like 175 or 200%, but it was like blank space taking up 30% of my screen. I'm like, what the heck? And then meanwhile, you got all these other icons crammed together, and it's like, there's all this space. Why not put them in there?
By the way,
it much better now.
just so you guys can see it, I will move it to the top real quick. Now you can see it, but not us.
Okay, so March 25th. We're getting there.
It looks much better. It's so much better.
Okay.
So yeah, Dirty Bed Sheets, it talks about that. Fence color now defaults to brown instead of white, but you can still lock it. And if you draw a fence on top of an existing fence, it'll just swap it out for the new color. You don't have to destroy the fence and then add a new one. Allow storage zones allow storage shelves in delivery zones without an error. Update the floor removal tools that I still want to do more work on.
They're much better now though.
And then
Much
for
better.
better performance, you can disable lights that are far away. So it doesn't really happen much on the small maps, but I found on big maps some players place like a ridiculous number of lights. So just reducing lights that are far away can help fix that. So you probably won't notice it on this map unless you move the camera really far back.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can just see them disappearing in the distance. I've seen like frame rates nearly double, just bad. Well, not double, but it does make quite an impact.
Is it distance purely, or is it frustrum?
It's just distance. So I just switch them off after a certain thing. So yeah, Stash Schedule UI, Demolish Tools, Beds, Map and Wealth Rebalancing. So
By
we're
the way-
still going to do more of this with the recent slot machine like changes, just changing how much wealth guests spawn with and more tweaks to the gambling confidence, but we'll have more info on that once we get the updates out. Because I still think...
Yeah, it's not quite there, sorry. It's not quite there, but basically we definitely need more depth to the wealth level, or just because I have $1,000 in cash on me doesn't mean I'm gonna go spin a $25 spin slot machine. There has to be more there. We're definitely gonna be getting at that. I almost think slot mechanics is underselling it. I think it's almost a little more of like the whole gaming side, giving it the depth it deserves. And it's not like the casino isn't purely gaming, but like any casino isn't, but it's a big part. And right now it does lack some of that depth.
Very quick one for the to-do list. Since the lights can go off anyways, we should disable lights in hotel rooms when the people are sleeping.
Speaking of lights, can you go back to your terrace real quick?
You mean this one?
Yeah, okay, so I think I know what's going on here. It's the ambient light. The texture is fine. It has to do with the ambient light. If you go down one level, it's probably something to do with the ambient light on that balcony. It's probably that balcony's ambient light is going 2 floors up, even though it's the second floor. That's my guess, is that when the show is controlling the ambient light, and I think that side is probably
where the theatre hall balcony is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My guess is that theater hall balcony is altering the ambient light above it by 2 stories instead of just that story. So, did you get that, Donna? Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably a really easy fix. It probably just needs to check to just not touch top floor balconies. Yeah, theater balconies.
So we've added a lot more research types. I think Josh has showed off that screen earlier. Then we've got ventilation. So it's only a basic implementation. So there's no area. So basically ventilation just works where if it gets, you get too many people, or it's like a hot part of the day, then you'll get a warning saying that guests are complaining about it. This will cause them to get slightly more frustrated, but it also cause them to get more thirsty, so it might be to your advantage if you want them to buy drinks in that. And because it's global, basically, so you place them on your roof and then it just cools the entire casino down.
Where's that shown, by the way? Like, do you have
so when the warning comes up...
No overlay?
No, well, everything would be painted the same, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, currently.
Oh, it's truly global. I gotcha.
Yeah.
But can you see
it is on my list to add an actual screen for that and electricity. It's just right now you'll just get a warning and then it'll tell you how many to build when it gets further. But I think you've got loads. I kept it generally low so that it wouldn't get annoying to build. But because at the end of the day, the ventilation's more there to make the roofs look better, rather than to go into a deep simulation of, cooling, and because again, it's like what's going to be the most entertaining for the game.
Yeah, I think that you're far from the fine line, though. I think we could go a good bit further. Not yet. Also, so like in real casinos, one thing is they're always cold. Like if I go to a casino, it doesn't matter the time of year, I'm wearing pants and I'm wearing like a jacket usually, especially if I'm gonna play poker, because it'll be like freezing. And I believe that the science on it is that it keeps people awake, and I believe that the warmth makes people get tired quicker. So when it's cool, I think you almost get like a little bit more adrenaline. So I think that you probably want the heat to increase sleepiness. But yeah, we need to make it not global. Exactly how
The problem with that is you're probably going to need pipes going over every ceiling of every room, connecting to every area, basically. Because even if you just add them to the ceiling, I guess, to the roof, I guess you could have it go down all the way, but that seems a bit odd still. I think it'd just be too much hassle.
You'd need some connection shaft.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like in my mind you could do a like person architect style utility view where you basically just have another cell grid that is 2D that you can connect, and you have kind of like the conveyor belt system was, but non-directional.
So it's basically pipes in the void.
Rather get restaurants in than doing all this ventilation stuff. I guess that's the way I see it. Is I'd rather get more interesting stuff in than like.
What are the YouTubers think? I don't know. I like system stuff. Restaurants, I just freaking hate restaurants because making the mechanics good is, I don't know. There are games where you can make restaurants. I guess that's kind of it's kind of like, I feel the same about golf. Like, do you want to make I could make the same case, I guess, for restaurants and golf courses. I feel like, yeah, some casinos have very nice golf courses. Some, like down on the strip, there's a few that have extremely nice golf courses, and they're expertly designed by like world-renowned designers, golf course designers. I mean, same thing with restaurants too. There's expertly designed restaurants with top chefs, and how far down that rat hole, I don't know. To me, I don't know. I've always come at it more from the architect perspective, but I could be convinced. Yeah.
How about this? Michael can add restaurants. You add the 2D
Actually,
view
I've got
for
that
it.
on my list.
You add the 2D building stuff, and I add your system where it spreads out, because that's basically the same system as Fire was. Yeah.
Well, you just use effects emitters, like for the plants and that, wouldn't you?
No, it's way too slow. There's better algorithms when you're doing full spread, basically, and you can calculate it all. You can calculate it all at once.
Just keep it global.
We'll table that one. Donna, what do you think? You've probably played more than any of us.
Probably.
Weigh in.
Choose a side. Pick carefully.
For the solar power stuff, right? AC and all that.
For specifically like ventilation, what would you rather see? Like more ventilation depth or more?
I think
restaurants?
If I made a separate object like a vent, and players could place one like in a specific corner or spot or room, it would affect a diameter or like a radius of that section only.
And you would
then,
versus
you would
restaurants, which one? Like, how much depth do you want to see in restaurants?
I just meant more for building restaurants, not necessarily tons of depth to them, just so that you have more variety to food, because I think one buffet just feels a bit rubbish. We need a bit more food variety in the game.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like one comment like behind. Sorry, restaurants. Because we're currently working on the pizza one.
And you're talking just placeable ones?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you'd still build the individual elements, so you still have a reservation desk, because we've got the pizza oven that was added like a year ago. We just haven't been able to use it yet.
Yeah.
I actually am surprised it's a tough decision between placing ventilators and building a nice restaurant.
I mean, we can have both.
We can have both.
The truth is, you can't. I mean, maybe in this instance you can't, but yeah,
I think it's going to be
everything-
tight.
Yeah, everything we do is. Yeah, we can't have both of everything.
I'm just not convinced
Yeah.
ventilators are that exciting, really.
Well,
I guess-
you say that. I'd really love a system like that, where you actually have to manage the ventilation and have to check that your rooms are correctly temperatured.
Yeah, like I would too. Like what I'd like to see is like hotel rooms, like it in real life where they have thermostats, and when the guest checks in, like when my wife and I went to it's called Great Wolf Lodge, indoor water park place. I was so pissed. I ended up looking up how to override the thermostat because they have the lowest it could go was set at 70, and the 70 in that room was not what I would call actually 70. But the range you could go was from 70 to like 76 or some shit. When we got there, it was set at 76. I'm like, hell no.
Oh.
It wouldn't go below 70, so I had to Google it and figure out what the master code was to be able to unlock the temperature range. But like that's a real thing that hotels deal with is like the power consumption and also just like the total cooling capacity or heating capacity. Like I'd love to see that be tied in. And like all these slot machine games, they make a lot of heat. I mean, they're basically computers and screens. Like, yeah, I personally, I look at it more like I'd rather a system where there's feedback loop, like with an overlay that gives you info versus a restaurant that is, to me, a little designy. The other reason I say that too is, to me, electricity is very, very similar, and like they basically go hand in hand. And I think electricity is a must-do thing. I know, for instance, here in Vegas, most of the casinos on the Strip, they actually have negotiated with NV Energy to not buy power from the main. We only have one electricity provider here. In order to stop their services, you have to pay by law a big fee. And so most of the casinos here have paid like $200 or $300 million just to be allowed not to buy electricity from that company. And then they've sourced electricity from a different company themselves and literally run like lines because their electricity costs. I want to say the Luxor light, the light that's on top of the Luxor, I want to say it's like $1,000 an hour worth of electricity.
Wow.
It's something crazy like that. And so to me, it's like, I think that electricity is a must-do. And so I quickly, ventilation to me is similar. I'm not saying you can't have restaurants, though. I think this is a case of both. Yeah, and I tend to think it's something that should be optional. But I think I heard Joshua taking my side. I think that's what I heard.
I
Is
mean,
that right?
for me, it's really easy to just basically port the fire spread code over to SimCasino and use that. It needs
But would
some...
you have to connect all of the ventilators together and then have them going down the sides of the buildings and over the ceilings and like how
They
would
don't have
that
to
work?
be in 3D though. That could be
Well-
2D or on a separate view.
I'd mix it a little. I'd put some shaft object, some utility shaft object that can transfer vertically, and then on the same floor have a 2D, so basically be in the ceiling or the floor.
What do you think, Donna? Are you by the way, Donna? Do you have the YouTube and stuff muted, right?
Yeah.
You're just listening on. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that 2D is a good idea. Having a separate like panel to view all the pipes or electricity and all that stuff on a 2D level would be better than making it 3D because it'll just take up too much space. And if we made it 3D, then visually, I don't think it'll look nice because people would be OCD with the way things look.
Yeah. What do you think about the system in general, though? Like, is it something that sounds fun to you? Is it something that you wouldn't like? Because I know you approach the game from more of the creative side, like, and I actually do too, which is funny because I got into this business because of Prison Architect, where I was purely interested in the logic stuff, and that's like literally how I got into making games. And now I play this game, I'm all about design, but I still am interested in the systems. So I'm curious, is it like a turnoff for you in terms of, or is it something you would enjoy?
I personally wouldn't mind learning about it. I just don't know anything about it personally, but I think it would be a good idea to add electrical stuff into the game.
And it wouldn't. Okay, so what I hear is basically like, it should be a checkbox. I mean, it should be something you can turn off.
Like, why put solar panels in the game if we don't really...
We do have electricity. I think you're confusing it with ventilation. You're asking about whether to add ventilation. Electricity is in the game for everything.
Okay.
Let me
It's
see
basically...
that. But it's the same thing though. It's global.
Hmm.
And you're getting billed?
So you get billed, and then when you build solar panels during the day, that cost gets offset. So the more solar panels you have, the cheaper it is.
So, so I'd like to see that work more like Prison Architect, where you ran wire. You didn't have to connect it to every single thing. You just had to get it within like 8 tiles or something. You remember? But to me, they're basically a very similar, almost exact same system. Okay.
You basically want utilities from Prison Architect.
Prison Architect, yeah,
plus,
pretty much.
Plus ventilation, which is basically a similar system, just a little bit on top of what Prison Architect did.
Exactly, yeah, and the ability to overlap them, because that was just fucking absurd that you could not overlap them in Prison Architect.
Yeah, I'd definitely love to see that. But I also...
Meanwhile, you're the tycoon. You're damn near moderator on the tycoon subreddit. Come on now.
Actually, it's been very tempting to comment on other stuff, but I thought it might be a bit biased because I work on SimCasino, but I've been very tempted to write comments on other tycoon games. And there's one... Actually, I probably shouldn't even say. There's one I want to tear into quite a lot.
Mention it. Just the name.
No. I'll tell you after the stream.
Arthur, by the way,
What's that?
Go ahead.
Katie just said if we are already doing power, we should also do pipes for water.
Yeah.
To me, it was so when you said, Joshua, that basically want to see Prison Architects utility system, it was kind of a foregone conclusion in my mind that
Water is included.
yeah, like
everything utilities.
Yeah, it'd almost be kind of dumb not to.
So when you say 2D view, is it like a 2D sprite overlay rather than 3D objects? I guess that'd be a bit easier to draw, hopefully a bit quicker to get out.
Yeah,
than
exactly.
3D models.
You basically go and say, so you click a view, you click a button, you go in something like this view, and then you can draw 2D power and
I like that.
stuff
I'm
like
just thinking about how
Yeah.
long it's going to take. That's all. But yeah, if it sounds doable, then if we keep it 2D and sort of simple.
I'll do it.
Like I said, if
Yeah,
you
but remember, you still have audio on your list.
I'll do this before audio.
No, because you was going to do
Please.
audio last time, and then you ended up on slot games, and before that you were supposed to do polls, and then that ended up off the list. You keep pushing things. Do
also
the
slot
effing audio.
slot games has been moved to me by now.
Yeah, that's another thing as well. Are you going to do anything?
Yes.
Well, he got the
doing
job
merch.
up.
Utilities.
His wife is doing merch photos.
Audio.
Yeah, I got my wife. You'd be nice if my wife's not gonna ship all this stuff out. She's already volunteered. She was like, I assumed that I was gonna have to do this. Let me do the utilities.
Audio.
Okay. Hold on.
Audio first, then you do the utility stuff, and let me know when you do that. I can add the spread system
It's-
for
It's like telling you you'll be allowed dessert when you have your main.
exactly.
Okay, fine. You guys win. I will get the audio stuff knocked out quick because I want to work on the utilities.
See, that's motivation.
By the way, just what I wanted to say, we might want to consider having an option to disable a profile,
Yeah.
maybe.
I totally agree. Yeah,
Hmm.
it should be something you can disable when you start a new profile for sure.
Well, by the way, all the new profile stuff. For some points, we might consider just adding a button to also change it on the running profile. I mean,
Yeah.
why not
Yeah, so
disable
you
or
can-
enable utilities,
Yeah.
for example?
So Soldine on YouTube said, I'd be interested if each room had its own thermostat and it was exponentially harder to cool larger rooms. That also give a trade-off between size and temperature control costs. Yeah, honestly, that's like exactly what I envision. Is basically like, yeah, giving you a downside and also like basically a total cooling capacity, similar to electricity, pretty much like a total capacity. Yeah, right there with you. And I do agree. I think 2D layer is the way to go. I will say it could be that like it is 3D instead of just sprites, but only when you have the utilities layer active and like it darkens out everything else or something, or like there's no reason there's no difference really between a sprite versus a small model, but yeah. Yeah. Okay.
We'll get to it. Arthur will get to it after audio.
I'm gonna get to it before the next stream.
Okay, so that either means
that?
you'll
Well,
be
it's going to
really
be a while
quick.
before the next stream.
No, it's not. We're gonna stream
Yeah,
again. in...
It either means you'll be really quick with audio, or we'll not stream for the next year.
You guys are mean. Let's put the next stream on.
It's roast day today. We'll all be roasted. Chat, please roast us.
I got roasted last time for scheduling.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pencil in May 28th.
Oh, I'm gone. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
That's
June
my 3-day
4th?
weekend.
I'm gonna pencil in June 4th then.
This will be our ventilation day.
I've got ventilation.
Oh wait, that's July 4th, not June 4th.
No, that's June
Okay.
4th. I'm gonna have audio done too.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Independence Day is July 4th, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, we can stream that day
Right.
too.
Friday, June 4th.
Actually, we won't. Well, probably, but I'll be drinking for sure. We should get some fireworks in there, though, if your country code is U.S. and the day is July 4th. So what else you got, Michael? What else?
So we're up to March 25th. So yeah, tutorials electricity, so that's where we talked about ventilation, and then 31st was just some bugs. April 1st was when we announced 2D version, making everything ugly. And yeah, we showed off like an old beta screenshot with like the old textures and old lighting. Remember when we said this would be ready for early access in February, and that was 1 month before?
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, I do.
So yeah, you can see how many guests have used an object, which we showed before. Share casinos and profiles on the workshop. One thing we haven't mentioned is if you go into the world screen, you can buy other people's plots that they've made and then add them to your profile. So that's a quick way to expand your different casinos. We've talked about hand sanitizers and surfers, new signs. What else? Oh yeah, new suit and dress for the retail workers, which so they'll now
awesome.
yeah, definitely. And the like skirts of the women all looks a lot nicer than before. I think they was wearing like white, red suits or something.
Yeah, major props to you guys, Michael and Donna, getting that. It's like, it really is so much more immersive just seeing it. It's like so much better.
I don't see them walking like around randomly though. They're just at the bars.
You need a patrol,
Yeah.
and then they'll do it.
When's the last time you played, Donna?
No, I mean I don't see them in
She's never played the game before. She lied.
I
Yeah,
I
right.
have patrols in my game.
Yeah, Josh should just
I
say,
don't
"I'll
see
take
any
the
in Josh.
patrols."
Yeah, Josh, you're not playing this game very well.
Do you know how much I play this game? I'm probably playing the game the least of all of
Yeah,
us.
9th of April added slot
Yep.
machines can be built outdoors. I think I had to undo that because of a bug with the screens or something. Never got around to it.
Michael, real quick question for you. Do you
yeah.
have to have a waypoint on the ring server patrol close to the bar?
And
Okay.
so they'll just go there whenever they need to like restock or put cash back.
To whichever one they're closest.
Yeah, so it's whichever's closest. Increase security camera radius by 40% just to make large areas less tedious. I also improved all the visuals for security cameras. I must have skipped it by accident, but I also improved the visuals for patrols, which you just saw, so all the different numbers and like better views and that. You can now view the occupancy rates of hotels, so you just see what percentage it's been used or not used over time.
Per room.
But we do want to add like a graphic for that at some point, but right now you just see it for the last, like overall. Oh yeah, at the top left you have a zone toggle button because I know some people forgot that you could press Z to toggle zones. So it's right next to the hide walls.
I swear that got asked like probably once a week. Very good addition.
And then April 22nd, added all the decor, merged the foundation and wall tools. So now if you select indoors and drag a line, you get a wall. If you select outdoors, it automatically switches to erect and builds a foundation. So you don't have two separate tools for walls and foundations. And I want to try and do something similar with the wall demolish so that you can drag an area of walls. And that'll be like contextual as well. Or you can just do a line of walls, but that's coming. I messed around with the different threads on higher core systems, just to hopefully improve performance on those with PCs who can handle it. I moved the table, the roulette table's dealer position because I think they was like in an odd place before, and obviously I did all the ropes and that. I think that's everything.
That's it?
Well, the big ones. Hang on, bug fix 1 out of 128. Here we go.
No, honestly, it's a ton. And yeah, Don is right too. Josh's design and patrolling probably doesn't do it perfect justice, but we'll give him an A for effort.
I didn't even get an A for effort for the schedules last time.
No, I think we got a few comments saying a lot of people like the new scheduling.
No, I meant the old one when I got roasted last time.
Yeah, well, yeah, for that. It was good effort, but
not quite an A.
No, but you're also getting much better at designing systems that are not overly, like right now you're actively you're trying to talk us out of adding complexity for ventilation and stuff. That's quite the turnaround from a year or so ago when you wanted to like full control complexity. It's noticeable though. You see it just even in the UIs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean that sincerely. Like we're all learning, always, constantly. Like there's always a constant battle, whether it's with Unity or with mechanics. Like, yeah. So I mean that very sincerely.
With our own code.
Yeah, with our own code. Some of the old stuff, I apologize.
I just found a really funny comment a couple of days ago. I think
Hopefully
it's
PG rated.
No, I'm not gonna say what it read. But it was basically, so you put a yield return null somewhere. Basically tells Unity wait a frame. And I guess you put it there and never commented on why you put it there. And at some point you put a comment basically saying, why did I put this here? I mean, it had some reason, but I don't know why anymore.
That happens. And what? Did I put the comment saying, I don't know why I put it there? Or did I
Yes,
put a comment
that was your comment.
Why the hell is this here? That's even worse. Why did I put this here?
Yeah.
That happens. Meanwhile, I could tell you almost any piece of code exactly how it works, and then there's shit like that. Like it's probably the end of the day, and I was like, why isn't it working? Try this. It worked. Okay.
And never comment why it works.
Yeah. Well, I probably had no idea why it worked.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's how it goes. All right, so let's see. Anything anybody wants to see or any questions? Going for probably wrap up in about 10 minutes.
I want to see your shirt.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought I showed up. I can do the spin.
Did you say the store is live?
Yeah. I posted an announcement on Discord and everything. Not on Steam yet.
Buy our shirts. Buy our shirts. Buy our shirts.
Yeah, go pick them up. So let's see if I'm.
And then we have mugs as well.
We've got the mugs in the back. LV Game Dev. Yes, my screen is mirrored. But yeah, it is. And then we've got these sweatshirts. They are quite nice. I'm very, very happy with them. They're super comfy. So are these. My wife tells me this brand is fantastic. It's Bella Canvas. I don't know. They're soft as hell. They're like really nice. These are nice lightweight hoodies too. Yeah, so go pick them up. They're for sale now. My wife will start shipping them out probably first thing tomorrow or Monday at the latest. I believe it calculates international shipping and everything. So, yeah, pick some up. We'll all be wearing them next time. I just got them yesterday, if you weren't here earlier when I said that. So they look wrinkly on the pictures that are up there right now. We didn't have time to get great pics. We haven't even had time to send them out to all of us yet. But yeah, go pick them up. They're sweet. And if you don't like them, you can bitch at us on the next stream. Yeah. Let's see what else. If you're watching on Steam, buy the game. It's a great game. It's like, it probably is higher quality polish than vast majority of EA games.
Early access, not EA.
Yeah, well, it's definitely better than any game from Electronic Arts. That's a foregone conclusion if you're watching this. Yeah, honestly, it probably is more polished though than most early access games. And to those people that leave a review saying there's not enough depth, I think they should look harder. Yeah, honestly, if you haven't left a review, please do. It helps a lot. Anything else?
By the way, I think you met up with Paylines, right?
Yeah, we've got. Yeah, I don't know if I think you just joined.
Yeah,
on
he's in chat.
YouTube chat.
He wants some T-shirts. You could probably deliver it yourself.
Yeah. Next time, if you want, next time you're in Vegas, let me know and I'll throw you some. It'd probably be interesting to be wearing it in the casino. My guess is you'll get a decent bit of questions. I've already had several people be like, "What is that? What's SimCasino?" And I'm like, "It's a video game. It's a very good game." They're like, "Oh, on Xbox or like it's on Steam?" They're like, "Oh, no kidding." Yeah, and when people ask me what I do, I'm just like, I make video games, and they usually are like, "Oh, that's cool."
When
I
I
usually get
tell
asked
them,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead, Michael.
When I usually get asked, is it an app and is it free?
Yeah, a lot of people are just like, they instantly assume mobile, and it drives me nuts. Or they assume it's like a DLC thing, like a pay to or a free to play crap. They're always like shocked when I'm like, "You only pay once," and they're like, "How do you make money?"
They ask me if they can like really gamble with real money.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Some people are like, "Oh, so it's like an online casino." No, there's no gambling. It's
I should hook
old
it
school,
up to my bank account.
right?
You can't
Every
gamble.
dollar that they-
You can only make them gamble. You can only make
Yeah.
people gamble.
Well, you
Oh, is that
can't
a
make
pit boss?
anybody gamble.
I know that's a server.
Hmm.
A server just serves someone.
Patrick has a question on YouTube. I think the drink servers are taking the last build bar. Can it be different that they go to the nearest bar?
Probably
We
one for
should
you,
go
Michael.
to the nearest.
Oh, the
I've
Is it the
also just
pathway?
noticed it. Michael, is it possible they go to the nearest, but only in 2D space? Because this drink server definitely went to this bar a second ago.
Is it not using TDH?
I'm sure it was using TDH because it's almost
Oh, look at him,
easy
he's-
to set it up with TDH.
He's doing it again.
I'll have to double check that, but I swear it was using TDH.
At this distance, like I've worked a lot with the TDH in the last couple of months. From here to here is definitely longer, definitely more than from
Yeah.
here to here.
No question of that. Unless the staircase has a bug and it's got negative.
That's what
No,
I was
it
gonna say.
can't.
Is that fixed? Is that fixed?
Yes.
The negative, for sure.
Well, it wasn't.
Because
It was never negative. It was just the wrong way around. The
Not
heuristic
sure I understand
penalty.
the difference there, but I'll take
the
your word for it.
There's a heuristic penalty going from 0 to X. Going up the more people use it. And it never goes negative. It's always a penalty for the path. But the calculation was the wrong way around. It gave a high penalty.
Reduce. Gotcha.
Yeah. That's all fixed now. I've also added some additional fixes to elevator heuristic when there's a bunch of elevators with different amount of stories and it also fixed a bug where full elevators were never continued. But yeah.
One more thing, can you check if that ground floor bar is fully stocked? Because if it's not fully stocked, they might not go to it.
I was actually going to ask, can you follow that guy for a second?
It's not fully stocked, but it's definitely stocked. Which of the stocks do they use?
Well, I think either snacks and drinks or all of them.
Okay, to be fair, all of them have above 200, so...
Yeah.
So he goes and takes all the orders and then goes at the end?
Well, no, he's already carrying stuff with him, so he always takes a small amount with him, and then when he runs out, then he goes back and collects more of each. It's basically how I did it, just to speed things up a bit.
Yeah, it's not totally unrealistic. Usually, when they walk around, they actually bring like one domestic, one import, 3 bottles of water, something like that, and then they write down the orders. If you want something immediately, you take whatever they've got if they have some left. Can we get an animation where he's like carrying them?
Yeah.
Where'd he do it with boxes? Why can't we put a tray on them?
He'd have to carry it with 2 hands if he does it like that.
That's fine.
So Patrick definitely just confirmed. He said they were always going to the newest bar. So we probably just have to check it.
I personally wouldn't like. It seems to me like they should check each point in the patrol and see which point in the patrol has a bar closest, and that's the one that they should go to. Either that, or I wouldn't mind seeing them be assignable. But
I'd probably avoid assignable. It gets a bit like what was it? The speakers in some airport at that point.
Yeah.
But maybe having it based on the patrol would be a bit smarter.
yeah, I follow. Yeah, like because if one of the points on his patrol is closest to that bar, then he could go and resume his patrol, or he could go and finish his patrol, take orders, and then go to the bar and walk his patrol backwards or forwards and deliver.
I think most people place some point close to the bar anyways.
Anyway, we know there's a bug there. I would like to see an animation, like because we already have the box. We know we can make them carry it with 2 hands. And that doesn't really... It'd be better than... Yeah, to me, I see it like the bed where... Like, I'd like to see 2 trays, a tray with stuff on it and a tray with none. And swap it so that you can tell when he's... To me, it's like the bed. Before we had the bed thing, there was no visual cue that the bed was dirty or not.
Yeah, but
Got all that written down?
Huh?
Did you get that one written?
I think she is now.
Sorry.
No worries.
I was taking care of the bot in the Twitch chat.
There's a bot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
they were
spam.
spamming.
The bot's gone rogue.
A link.
Is it taking over?
No, Donna was faster.
So animation for a waiter holding the drink table. What else?
So we've got the animation. What we need is just the tray with nothing on it, and then a second tray with maybe like a bottle and some snacks on it or something. Like, you know, what do they normally serve?
Yeah, generally just drinks.
I think for handout snacks as well in the game.
Do they
Also-
hand out snacks on the tray in like casinos though?
In real life, that at some casinos, like I know
Okay.
it at the Win. Like I used to go play poker at the Win. If you wanted, like, if you're gonna be drinking vodka Red Bull, that's the Win is the only place at the time where they would actually give you real Red Bull. Everywhere else, you would get like this Mountain Dewy fake stuff out of a soda fountain. At the Win, you can't. You can order food from them, and yeah, they'll deliver it to you anywhere. Most casinos, though, they won't bring your food.
Okay.
I've got a couple of nitpicky things while we're at it.
Sure.
What's your favorite kind?
The server should face the agent. Currently, they just don't face the agent. The server should also find the closest available cell. So what I've just seen is they sometimes serve an object that's, on slot machines. It doesn't matter too much, but they serve some people on the roulette table or poker table, and they just go to the staff position, which is on the other side of the table, not where the actual agent is.
I don't know, he looks like he's close by.
In this case, it
Yeah.
looks fine, but on the roulette table,
I don't
a
think he
second
can get
ago,
closer because of the bounds.
yeah, but
Maybe
on
it
the
was
roulette
just the
table,
delivery. Was it just on the delivery, maybe, or something?
I don't know. But like in this case, he's definitely not facing
Yeah.
the right way. So on the roulette table, he was on the wrong side, so maybe it's just the roulette table. And two other small things that are not related to the drink server. You can't follow someone and then disable the highlight box. If I go out, it just stops following, which is a bit annoying if you just want to do some cinematic following. But I think in SimAirport we had, if we clicked away the dialogue, it still followed, but the box was invisible.
That one's for
And-
all characters.
That's for all
Yeah.
characters. And while on follow mode, and it's perfect that he's currently walking up the staircase, the camera isn't going up the floor. It's still on floor.
Yeah,
that's a
that's
good
weird
catch.
because wait, tilt the camera up. It is on the new floor. It's
No,
just
it
the walls
isn't.
in the way.
No, it isn't. It's still the same
fu-
height as if it was on floor 0. Or
Oh, the
ground floor.
height of it.
The
That
height
makes more sense.
just, yeah.
So
If
the
you wait
level
a second-
changed.
That's a good
but,
catch.
If you wait a second, it's not gonna change at all. It will go down, so the objects on floor 2 will not be visible, but as you can see in a second, the camera position will not change.
Yeah, the height, the elevation didn't go up and down like if he used his key command.
I think
That's
that's only
actually a good
updated when the the input is updated. That's why. I think it needs to be moved to a more general location.
Yeah, gotcha. Like on level change.
Events? But yeah, that's just my
Oh yeah, guest
nitpicky stuff.
smirking.
Guessed what?
Guest smirking.
Ah,
Is
that
that
was
would
on
that
the
be like
list.
a texture change for that, or
I think that's just have an animation and then we'll add a zone where they can stand in or something.
because
No, they can smoke anywhere in the casino except the poker room.
In the
Mhm.
UK, you can't smoke inside.
yeah.
Should be anywhere? That's a law?
Yeah.
Well, in public places, yeah. In like private homes, you're alright, but in any public place, you have to go outside.
And public, that is also
Well-
commercial spaces. Same in Germany, by the way.
In many states it's like that too here, but certainly not in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, there's only one or two casinos they're brand new casinos. I know the Aria is non-smoking, so I'll never go there. And I want to say there's one other, maybe the Encore, something
by
like
the way,
that. But every
Alpha?
casino in Vegas is smoking anywhere there's gaming. But there will be a few gaming machines that'll have a no smoking sign, like because it'll be that area that's non-smoking. Everything else is free for all.
By the way, before you go on another tangent on smoking in casinos, that'd be a perfect point for having settlement requirements or settlement restrictions. I think we talked about those at some point when discussing possibly modded settlements, or just adding new settlements. Having some plots or even settlements have specific restrictions. So you could make, if we add the Las Vegas settlement, that one could have smoking everywhere, or no restriction on smoking, and the other settlements would have a restriction. You have to have a specific zone for smoking.
Yeah.
Or like an auto terrace zone where you're allowed to smoke.
Yeah. Okay, so the takeaway though is we need a smoking animation, and then we just beyond that though it's just like a little particle effect, and defining which zones they cannot.
When we add that in, the zoning, because you would have to zone that area too. Will that interfere with the other zoning stuff?
We're gonna do it Vegas style where you can smoke. So in reality, you can smoke anywhere except for like gyms, eating areas, except you can smoke at bars always. You can't smoke at like the theater. It's like frowned upon to smoke at like the reception area, but at the very worst, somebody's gonna be like, "Would you mind putting that out?" And then you can generally just finish your cigarette and then put it out.
Okay.
I would basically say, implement it along those lines. Then we can add a toggle, like if you want to make your entire casino non-smoking. I also think you should be able to make rooms smoking or non-smoking. That has recently become a thing in Vegas. A lot of the casinos don't allow smoking in rooms now, or only specific rooms they do. Unless it's at like one of the 5-star ones, then they don't say one way or another. And if you call the concierge, they'll bring in an ashtray, no problem.
Also, if they smoke, they should make generate litter.
Oh, okay.
Also,
Which reminds me, I fixed litter not appearing half the time, so it should work a lot better now. And we've got on the list for an animation for the janitor to actually sweep, but that's going to be coming like next month or so.
while we're at it, if someone smokes, the air quality goes down at that position. Going all the way back to ventilation.
And that's exactly why ventilation is so huge. Like, there's companies that specialize specifically in ventilation, and not like HVAC ventilation, but that there's these things called smoke eaters. I believe the brand name is actually Smoke Eater, but every bar here in Vegas has them. Like, not in casinos, just in regular bars, because you can smoke in those. But they'll have like 6 on the ceiling, and they'll have a contract probably $1,000 a month to come and clean them. And yes, otherwise, like, the bar becomes super smoky. Same with the casinos. You can generally tell the age of a casino when you walk in by how smoky it smells. The newest ones have phenomenal ventilation, and so like you're not gonna smell anything. The older ones, you know right away. It's like it was built 30 years ago.
That would mean we'd have to do 2 layers. One for heat/cold, so air conditioning, and one for quality.
Like, yeah, I think they do. There is overlap there, like air movement. It's it may be similar to fire. I don't know. I'm gonna knock sound out so I can start working on it.
Yeah, I mean
I know audio wouldn't have got done if it wasn't for that.
I mean, the basic simulation, making it a fast simulation, would work similar to fire. You could always go into actually making some particle physics system.
Payline says Aria you can smoke. So when Aria first opened, it was non-smoking only. So that must have changed. I know it was non-smoking only because I got drug in there. I think I was 20. Got drug in there and I got in trouble, and I was like, you can't smoke anywhere in here, and you had to go outside. That's right, though. Park MGM is the other. I thought, yeah, I could have sworn. Maybe they changed it, though. Nevada has one of the highest smoking rates in the U.S. I think it's like 30% or something. Oh shit, there was something else I was thinking. What was it?
What did you forget?
I don't know.
Have you forgot what you've
too.
forgotten?
It was a hard one too. I was excited to present it to Michael.
So we're talking about smoking, air quality changes, making event for air quality, event for AC heater, generating litter.
Oh, age.
Age.
So I really
This is
want to
one
see...
we discussed before, wasn't it? Adding kids and adding elderly people and that.
Yeah, like I really, really want to play with this because it is like if I go to a locals casino here, it is going to be I'll be one of the younger people there, especially like this time of day. I'll probably be the youngest person there. And yeah, like older age people are attracted to a different type of slot game generally than, and that's a big generalization, but yeah, I would really like to play with like either an old person walk and like the animation blending. We talked about it. And I remember you said didn't think it would work. I want to try it. I feel like it should work. I also would like to try adding another mask to the agents, like with wrinkles and blending it. I feel like it would work.
I think the mask will work. I'm just still not sure about the natural looking animations. But as you said, we can try it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like if we just take the current walking animation and make it limp, or yeah, I don't know. It may be just a totally different animation. Ideal world in my mind, though, would be we have 3 walking animations, and each agent gets a preset seated blend of those 3, so that everybody's got a slightly different gait. You know what I mean? Something I would love to play with, especially now that Donna is an expert rigger, animator.
I'm better at animating, for sure.
The rigging is, well, luckily
ask
that
about
part's
the
done,
rigging.
right?
Yeah, so we have about like three more classes left for rigging. There's so much to it. There's bones, there's curves, there's skin, and then you have to like combine them all together.
Yeah, I know it's a pretty intense thing.
Yeah.
And that's just like purely on the modeling and like the setup side. That's not even trying to like mess with those things in the game engine or like it's
Yeah, so there's like the way they're teaching the classes, you're using FK and IK handle for animating, but then in Unity, when we're the way that you guys have set it up, they're just using the joints to move.
Yeah.
So I don't know how exporting the new models or characters that I make will affect the the current state.
Yeah, and so the reason for that is because FK and IK are both pretty expensive. IK is very expensive, and we even go a step further, and we actually bake it all into a GPU texture so that it's basically pre-calculated, but we can still do some blending, just not. Yeah, I mean, we can't do any kind of ragdoll type stuff. True IK, you can just like turn physics on, but in reality, if you turn physics on with 1,000 people, or really, if you turn physics on with like 40 people, and you've got them rigged well, you're going to probably need 3 more computers.
Mhm.
Like it's just, yeah. I'm curious. Do you run into performance issues, or you're just using one character at a time?
We're using one character and learning how to rig just one character
Just
the entire
one.
class.
And have you done like any like throwing them against the wall and stuff?
That part is animating, so we haven't gotten to that part. That would be something separate or outside of the class. Currently, we're rigging the face, which is interesting because for our game we don't even mess with animating the face at all.
I wish we could. Yeah. The
Yeah.
reality is like facial animation. I had no idea until I started working on the characters. Like you could buy like character assets that have like 100 bones or 100 like blend shapes in the face. Like I had no idea that. Like
We
it
can
makes
definitely
sense.
add it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll put it way deep on the list.
Yeah.
Facial animations.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get to that one. Cool.
We've still got 2 points.
Is
Yeah.
there
Okay.
anything that people desperately want in the game? That's a good question. So we've got things like ventilators, restaurants, but like what else are people really wanting in the game? But like, I mean, I don't think there's anything sort of missing from version 1 per se, like nothing that would give a negative review if we didn't get it in before launch, but is
Video
there anything?
poker, for sure. In bar tops. But
Yeah.
yeah, still a
But
very
yes.
good question.
Anything like, yeah, people desperately want whether like, oh, this will make the game bad if we don't get it in by version 1.
Arcade.
So we've got an arcade machine, we just need the screen for it. And I think we've got a,
Oh, okay.
I don't know if we've got a pinball machine done or not, or if that's just a reference on Trello, but I think that needs doing at some point.
I'll have to take a look.
I mean, modding.
Oh, yeah,
Modding
big
is, yeah.
But that's coming, yeah.
Modding
Arcade is a good one. I mean, we
Modding
should probably
already
get more
talking
than
today
one
about modding.
arcade game too.
One of you needs to hook up all of the screens for the like electronic blackjack and electronic roulette and a few of the machines that we got in that just haven't been hooked up yet.
I'm waiting on them from.
Right.
She's got. There's like 7. I sent one new one over, but it's for slots. I don't know if Josh had got it in.
The slot video.
Yeah, there was one new one I sent over.
No, I haven't gotten that one in.
Okay.
I've mostly
I think
focused
she has.
on adding the changes.
Gotcha. Yeah, no worries. She's doing one more type, the type with the spinny at the top. And she's making a template for that, and then she's gonna do the custom ones for like blackjack and roulette, and then after that she's gonna spit out like 8 more games or 10 more games based on the list that Paylons gave. Basically the most popular games in real life. We're pretty much making parodies of them, or kind of safe clones, we'll call them. I think one of them is Thundering Bison and Thunderlink. No, it's Thunderlink and something Bison. Somebody mentioned a bug.
Yeah, Patrick said he had an issue with thieves getting stuck fighting in the front of an elevator.
Yeah, I did fix 2 errors related to that. I think one yesterday and one might not have gone out today, but was like, I think I fixed this morning, so it could be fixed, it might not be. But I did see a couple errors on Unity bug report that I fixed.
As always, the best way to help us if you find these issues is having some save, or even how to reproduce it, and sharing all the thoughts and information you have on the Steam discussion board with it.
I managed to fix floating trash bags and floating towels and stuff.
Oh, cool.
That was one that was on the list for a while.
They were really annoying to reproduce, and it never happened.
So only other thing that's worth mentioning is we are just on the brink of releasing the game on the Mac App Store. And it sounds like, are quite close to having it run on the new Mac, and they've just released a new iMac on the M1s. We should have it running on that within about a week, it sounds like. It may actually already be running. But yeah, so SimCasino will be available on Mac App Store here pretty soon too.
Unofficially, it works on Linux, I think. I think some people have got it working.
I'm always in talks with QCS, and I've got another person running it on Linux. And we don't have the native build, but to be fair, the native build would use OpenGL, because Unity still didn't think about implementing Vulkan. The Proton uses Vulkan, which is runs really well. So if you're watching this and you think you're watching this and you only have a Linux system, you can probably still play it. And if not, let me know, or let us know in general.
Yeah, you can always get us on Discord or email, but
if you have some
Josh,
problem with Linux, just come onto our Discord, and you can find me and a couple of other people who play it on Linux. So very easy to get you some help and get it working for you.
And if you know anyone who can translate the game, please help us. That's another thing before we go.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Cool. Well, it has been a couple hours. Shall we call it a day? Grab some beer. Start fixing audio.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, and we'll be back. We're gonna shoot for. What did I say?
4th of June.
4th of June, and
4th
then
of June.
probably a 4th of July smaller drinking stream.
Yeah, 4th of June, and then 4th of July we'll do a morning drinking stream. A heavy drinking morning drinking stream. Go buy a shirt.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.
Check out our store.
Check out the store. Leave a review.
We can say that now.
Yeah, we have merchandise. And
Like and subscribe.
By the next
Yes.
stream, we'll all be wearing merch too.
As
Like,
always,
subscribe.
follow us on the platforms or subscribe. Follow us on Twitter for updates when we go live. On Steam, we also post it on Steam, but Twitter's the easiest place to follow. Discord, join us for sure. We're always happy to talk to you, and lovely to just see a couple of people. And we'll see you next time, June 4th, probably the same time. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you, everybody.
Goodbye.